Hi guys, I'm Sunks, one of the co-founders of Recall, and we've been getting a bit of feedback that there's a little bit of confusion between how tags and connections work in Recall. So tags being, what shows up on the left-hand side of your knowledge base, and then connections being the connections that then form this graph view. So keywords that are extracted and form the graph view. I thought for this example, I will use a YouTube video. Here I have a 2-hour long YouTube video from Lex Friedman. When I hit the browser extension in this example, there's various ways to add content, which you can go through in other tutorials. You can see that this was automatically tagged or categorized as business and technology /leadership. When I save it into Recall, you can see that I have this tag and it corresponds with business and technology and nested under leadership. When I think about a tag, I think about it as a category or a folder structure. So say, for example, you have a Word doc and you are saving it in a folder. I think about adding a tag as that folder. It is a bit more flexible because it could live in many different folders. So say, for example, this one I also want under my AI folder, so I can then just add AI. And so now you'll see it will also show up under AI. So you don't have to be completely tied to where you put it, but I see it as more of a high level place to store your information. You can also just drag and drop things around. So if I decided, no, I don't want it in AI, I actually want it in, entrepreneurship, I could put it there and you can see it corresponds to a different tag. Just so you're also aware of how you can add your own. So let's say I want to close that. I can add in AI, just type it in, or I could nest it. I could say AI/Google, and now it corresponds with AI, Google. That's a bit about how the tag works. If you wanted to edit the tag, let's say I wanted to move from AI to the full word artificial intelligence, I can then hover over it in the left panel, click the edit button, and here I could type in artificial intelligence as an example. And now you can see it's changed here and it's also changed on my tag. If I maybe wanted to nest this in a new place, so let's say I wanted to put AI under a different parent, I could then find what that parent was. Let's say in this case, learning and technology, select that, and it would then be nested under learning, technology, and AI put underneath that. I won't do that in this example, but that's how you can also edit your tag and change the parent tag. If I wanted entrepreneurship to be its own parent tag, I can click the edit button. I can just remove parent tag and save it. And you can see it's now become its own parent. Here you can also see I've got a duplicate. So now I have artificial intelligence, and under business and technology, I also have AI. So in this case, what I might do is take everything under AI, drag that whole folder, drop it under AI. So now I've got artificial intelligence and AI duplicated. And instead, I'm actually just going to delete this AI tag. So I delete it and delete the tag. And it's not deleted the content. It's just deleted the tag. And now everything has collapsed into artificial intelligence. So that's a little bit about how the tags work. It's a high-level folder structure. Connections, on the other hand, if you go to your connections tab, the keywords that were mentioned in the article that have been automatically extracted and connected to other keywords that were mentioned before in your knowledge base. So in this example, Elon Musk was mentioned. His name comes up here, and you can see 24 other pieces of content where Elon Musk was mentioned. The same goes for TensorFlow. TensorFlow was mentioned here, and it was also mentioned in another piece of content that I had saved into Recall. If I see some connections here that I don't want, so let's say this mentions YouTube, that's not really interesting for me, I can hover over the connection and remove it. So now it's no longer there. On the other hand, maybe there's some connections that are not here and I want to add them into Recall. What you can do that is go into the notebook, and there's two ways that you can add connections. You can take a keyword that you're seeing and you can highlight it and hit the lightning bolt. So let's say in this example, for some reason, I think Chennai in India is important for this topic. So I can highlight it, click the lightning bolt, select Chennai, and then you can see a couple things. One, Chennai has now been added to the city category under connections. I can also click on Chennai, and what it will do is pull a full Wikipedia page on Chennai. I can then see that Chennai is backlinked to that Lex Fridman video, as well as 2 other things that I have mentioned in my knowledge base. So that was one way you can create a connection. The second way is that you can also type your own connection. So say, for example, I now have a new section I want to call connections, and I think this is really important. I want to mention Lex Fridman. He wasn't mentioned here. Why not? I want to include him. I can go / Lex Fridman. I can select him here, and once again, you can see he shows up under persons. Let's say, for example, I want to create a connection not to a Wikipedia page, not to a concept, but actually just to something in my knowledge base. So let's say this YouTube video was recommended by a friend. I can take a note here and say recommended by / and I can type in Paul. And I actually want to just create an empty card called Paul. This will create a blank card called Paul where I can take notes of who is Paul, other things he has recommended, and he'll always be connected back to that YouTube video. And then these connections visually represent themselves in a graph view. So for example, here we can see Sundar Pichai, we can see all of the different connections that we have in Recall. We can then see that additional connection to Lex Fridman. If we click on it, it can open up the page on Lex Fridman, or if we click the plus button, it will expand on further connections to Lex Fridman. I like to use my graph view in the main view. So I'd first pick a particular topic of interest, say health and heat exposure, and then I go into my graph view. That way I can filter it or go into particular tags with my graph. I can also select a card of interest. So let's say I just want to see my card on exercise and heat exposure. I can then navigate my graph this way. Clarifying things about tags versus connections. So tags being your category, connections being keywords that are connected to help you discover or unlock connections in your knowledge. Let me know if this was helpful. I hope it was.